straight to the assign line next.
Camera 2, can I have camera 2 next, please?
Stand by on OS 7.
Coming to assign 2.
Can I have the OS for the studio, please?
Okay, everything's sounding good.
Mixing to camera 3.
And presenters ready, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Cut, go back, cue.
Hello and welcome to the...
Got a bit of technical.
Hello and welcome to BBC News School Report, live from the Surrey University studio. I am Karis.
And I'm Valentina.
Here's what is coming up in our programme. Mother's Day. How will Esher High students be celebrating?
Our school. Esher High students describe why their school is so special to them.
As Nestle announces it will cut down sugar content in its chocolate bars, we ask, will eating chocolate ever be good for you?
The effects of social media. Could you live without it? And students ask why racism is still an issue in our school.
The Queen is signing off the EU exit bill today, providing Theresa May with full legal authority to invoke Article 50. Brexit can therefore now officially begin. A source close to the Prime Minister said yesterday, it will be a big moment, a case of Brexit. Here we go. Yesterday, French presidential hopeful Marine Le Pen pledged on Nigel Farage's 7 p.m. LBC radio show last night that France will follow Britain with Frexit if she wins the upcoming election in May. She also expressed plans to exit the euro and eradicate radical Islam in France. She warned that only if France controls its own borders, laws and currency will she consider remaining in the European Union.
Indian police have launched a murder inquiry after an Irish backpacker is found dead in Goa. Danielle, 28 years old, was found on Tuesday morning at about 3.5 miles from Palolem in a field in Kanakona, southern Goa. Police describe bruising and extensive injuries in her face. Danielle had left Ireland to travel to India in February. The Irish embassy said they were in contact with the Indian authorities.
One of the UK's most popular painkillers can increase the risk of a potentially fatal heart attack. Researchers in Denmark have found that taking ibuprofen was associated with a 31% increased risk of heart failure. Other commonly taken medicines, such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, can increase the risk by as much as 50%.
A burglar was found apprehended by police after he stole a car and fell asleep inside. Liam Brown, 24, broke into a student house and took a laptop, a games console, and the keys to a Ford Fiesta. After stealing the vehicle, he parked up for a snooze, unaware that the car was fitted with a tracking device. Police were then easily able to find Liam, who has been convicted and sentenced to 21 months in prison, as well as a 12-month disqualification from driving.
Soft drink bottles contain, on average, only 7% recycled plastic, a global survey of the 6 biggest manufacturers has shown. Bottles produced by Dr. Pepper Snapple contained less than 1% recycled materials. Coca-Cola and Suntory bottles contain 7%. More than 530 billion plastic bottles are produced annually worldwide, and the impact on the environment is estimated as being extremely large.
On Wednesday, the 8th of March, Boxgrove Primary School in Guildford was evacuated to St Thomas of Canterbury School due to a suspicious phone call to the school. Local police quickly arrived on site and conducted a routine search of the premises, finding nothing. Various other primary schools across the UK were also evacuated at the same time, also due to suspicious phone calls. Further investigation of this incident is ongoing, but for now, all primary schools across the UK are opening as normal.
Sunday, 26th of March marks Mother's Day in the UK. Mothering Sunday is a Christian celebration we show mums how much we appreciate them, and it has now become a worldwide event. Here is Anuri with examples of how Esher High students will be celebrating their mothers and maternal figures this year.
Thank you, Karis. More than 30% of Brits say their mum is the most important and inspiration person in their life. The origins of Mother's Day dates back to the ancient Greek times, where the ancient Greeks dedicated an annual spring festival to maternal goddesses. The way we celebrate it today began in the US in the early 20th century. We asked Esher High students how they would be treating their mums on Mother's Day. 8% of the students said that they would be taking their mums out for a meal. 14% said that they would be buying flowers or chocolate. 26% said that they would get a card. And 36% said all of the options, with 16% said that they would do something else. One lovely student said that they would show how much they cared about their mother by making them a present. This shows what a caring community we have at Esher High.
Here is Guy with more information on our school.
Ashai High is an academy school in Esher in the leafy suburbs of Surrey. Located only 15 miles from London, it has approximately 1,000 students. It has a tradition of providing quality education to young people in the local community. In 2012, construction began on a new 2.5 million sports centre, and in 2014, as a result of a 9 million capital investment programme, a state-of-the-art science block was built with a lecture centre and brand new learning resources centre. The school has fantastic facilities and a thriving community of students and teachers. We interviewed the head teacher and a few of the students to discover why they are so proud of the school. This is what some students had to say.
I think it's the environment of the school that I enjoy the most. The teachers are really friendly, the students are quite friendly as well, and I think everyone's trying their best, everyone's trying to get as many things done as possible, and everyone's working hard.
I really enjoy the arts department because it's just fun and life, it's amazing. I like the PE book because it's got loads of equipment and tools. What facilities do you like the most about our school?
The art department and performing arts because more space and it helps you improve talents.
Final question. Out of 10, what would you rate our school? 10 being the best, 1 the worst. 5.
8. Same.
Out of 10, probably a solid 9, 9.5. I think there's still places we still have to go to, a few things that we have to work on, but we are doing quite well.
One of the activities that the school is involved in is a very active performing arts group, and this year the dance team has successfully progressed to the regional finals of a dance competition.
Well, at the moment we're rehearsing for a competition called the Great Big Dance-Off, which is in Folkestone. We're performing on the Monday the 13th of March, and we're doing a contemporary piece, and the theme of it is Day of the Dead. So what we did is we had to record a video of the dance, and that was our entry, and if they accepted it, we got into the regional finals, and that's what happened. We are performing at Sadler's Wells, and it's a massive venue, and so it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity really, so I'm quite excited for that.
We also took the opportunity to interview our head teacher, Mr. Boddington. Following the announcement on the 8th of March 2017, it was said that education budget and teacher jobs would be cut. How will this affect Esher High?
That's a really tough question. I think we can see across our country how the economy is in a position where actually there isn't perhaps as much money in our public services as there used to be. And so it means that in a school where we want to be generous and we want to be able to provide an enormous amount of resource for the next generation, which you are, we find ourselves in a position where we've got to be very, very careful about how we allocate our financial resources.
We've heard that you just recently had an Ofsted visit to Esher High School for an inspection. We know that you are unable to say too much at the moment. However, can you talk us through what you did to prepare for the day?
Right, well, I never do anything for Ofsted. I do it because it's the right thing to do for the children of the school. However, Ofsted have got a job, and their job actually is to tell the parents of the children in a school and potential children in a school how good that school is. It's not done for me, actually. It's not done for the teachers. Their remit is to inform parents, who of course sit outside the school, to inform them of how good that school is. So what we do, all our preparations really, we're trying to get really good things happening for our young people, and then we just tell Ofsted what we're doing. However, I am aware that it really matters. They come once every 3 years for a day, or possibly 2 days. This year they came for 1 day. And so we need to have enough evidence to tell them the story, to show them what we do, to show them the great things that our children achieve and are going to achieve, because they're not here very long, and we wanted to make sure that they got a really accurate picture of all the amazing things that go on here.
How do you feel the teachers and students represented Esher High on that day?
I thought they were great. I thought it was a really good day. I was obviously under intense pressure and a lot of scrutiny, but I thought the students knew about it the day before, and I hope they didn't feel like they had to put on an act. That was never my intention. I wanted them to believe that they were part of that process, because when you leave here, and anybody watching this leaves here and goes off and applies for a job somewhere, when they say, oh, what school did you go to? And you say, well, I went to Esher High School.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to Esher High's BBC School Report News team.
You're very welcome.
With social media now a big part of our everyday lives, Esher High carried out a survey about the use of social media. The pupils were asked if they thought social media was a good thing or not. 49% of the students said it definitely was, and 40% agreed that it was. Only 9% saying maybe, and 2% saying it definitely was not. Here is Sophie with one Esher High pupil who has made a big decision about social media.
Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm here with Rosie, who has made a huge change in her life for the next month. Rosie, what have you done?
I've decided not to use social media at all until June the 1st.
What is your opinion on social media?
I think social media can be a good thing if you use it appropriately, but the purpose of me doing this challenge is so that I can concentrate on assessments and revision.
How do you think quitting social media will help you?
I think it will help me because it will prevent me from getting distracted during revision.
How do Esher High present social media?
I think they can't stop us from using it, but there have been a lot of assemblies based on how to keep ourselves safe, e-safety.
What do you want to accomplish by doing this?
I want to be able to encourage and enlighten other teens that their whole life doesn't have to revolve around social media.
Are your friends and family proud of your actions?
Yes, they are, and they want me to continue to inspire others. They think it will definitely help my test scores to improve.
Thank you, Rosie. I hope you are successful. Back to Caris and Valentina.
For our latest story on racism, here is Chanel.
Ever since the EU referendum, racism has increased by 40%. During a survey, 30% described themselves as very or a little prejudiced. Hate crimes increased by 57%, just 4 days after the EU referendum. Racism does not only do physical harm on a person, but can mentally affect a person too. It can make a person feel fear, hatred, low self-esteem, and isolation. It can make a person be aware of their racial surroundings. It can make a person feel different. We interviewed the students at Esher High School about their opinions on racism, and they said, you shouldn't judge someone for their skin colour. Give their personality a chance. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, except for who they are. At Esher High, we believe that everyone should be educated on racism, and in order to combat the serious issue.
For our latest food issue, here is our food correspondent, Adam.
1 in 4 British adults are obese, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, prompting fears that the UK has become the fat man of Europe. Britain has become an obese society where being overweight is normal. It is a trend 3 decades in the making, which according to experts will take several more to reverse. How is the problem affecting the youth of Britain? The World Health Organization regards childhood obesity as one of the most serious global public health challenges of the 21st century. The latest figures of 2015 and 2016, according to the National Child Measurement Program, show that a third of 10 to 11-year-olds and over a fifth of 4 to 5-year-olds were overweight. But one chocolate company is trying to tackle this issue. Kit Kat sugar content is going to be cut down by 10%, as well as Yorkie and Aero. By 2018, 7,500 tons less sugar will be used in Nestle chocolate. This will help improve public health. Sugars in chocolate will be replaced with more of the existing ingredients for non-artificial ingredients. Last year, Nestle made a scientific breakthrough and discovered a way to restructure sugar so as 40% less is used. Hopefully, if other chocolate companies follow, it will have a positive impact and may have a small impact on reducing the problem of obesity in the UK.
So, we are going to our sports correspondent, Rosie and Sophie.
Today, Cheltenham horse racing continues with 6 Class 1 races taking place. This is the first year that Sir Anthony McCoy won't be competing. However, yesterday he unveiled the statue of himself out at the course.
Also, Monaco knocked Manchester City out of the Champions League. The match was nail-biting and the score was 3-1 to Monaco. Back to the studio.
So, now we go to Syra in the studio for weather.
Hello. The weather today is generally dry with sunny spells. Throughout the day, it will be dry with clear intervals and moderate westerly winds. However, tomorrow is not looking as good, as there will be rain all day with a high of 10 and a low of 8.
That's all we have time for today on today's BBC School Report from the TV studios at the University of Surrey. This has been produced with help from students of the Film and Video Production Technology course and from the staff and students of Esher High. Goodbye.